Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Hedera and Hbar. So, with that being said, before we officially jump in, I just want to hear from you guys. How are you guys doing? I hope everybody's having a beautiful day or a beautiful night. Just want to hear from you guys. But in regards to the overall market, I did start to see the market start to, crash a little bit last night. We have been, anticipating this. We are seeing Bitcoin trading about like roughly just broke under 19K. So, in regards to like the 24-hour spend, yes, altcoins are, some altcoins like AMP is up 30%, insane. But for the most part, we're seeing, altcoins, doing something like this, where we are seeing, a lot of, red, and in regards to like the actual 7-day spend, like in regards to, actual droppage in this market, we are seeing some altcoins getting absolutely decimated, and Hbar definitely is one of them. It is sitting at about roughly 6 cents. I'm actually waiting patiently on my buy orders to, be hit and actually be triggered. I've been telling you guys for the longest time to prepare for these drops because these are the times where you do want to average in and make sure that you do have fiat on the sidelines. And I said it on Twitter as well. I said, make sure that you are budgeting. Make sure that you are only spending money on necessities. Do not go out to eat. Do not, spend money on things that you don't need. To me, like, this is the moment in time, especially with like the economic outlook, is the time to really kind of put away fiat, save it. Budget. Do not spend money on worthless things. Make sure that you are only buying necessities. Make sure that you are paying off all debt if you can. I know a lot of people have a completely different, sort of viewpoint on it, and everybody's, situation is completely different. But to me, this is the moment in time where you want to start paying off a ton of debt. Make sure that you are budgeting, making sure that you are putting fiat aside to buy generational bottoms, because to me, we are not near our bottom on a lot of these altcoins, and we could come down 30 to 40+% more. To me, I'm watching Bitcoin to see if it does come down to like roughly $16,000, and even if that's going to hold, it could come down to roughly like 11 to 14K. So we're watching things pretty closely there. But there has been a lot of exciting movement around Hbar. Going back 3 days from Lunar Crush, we did see the social mentions, hit an all-time high of roughly 4,180. And this was actually not the only spike. We actually seen an additional spike here, but this is actually pretty exciting. Now, of course, we are starting to kind of gain some traction here as well. We did hit like all-time lows. Funny that, as we do really kind of look at this, I don't know what the social mentions were like during like September of 2021, where we did hit like 50 cents, but I'm pretty sure that this is actually more than that time as well. And it makes sense that the social mentions are definitely up. We've been seeing some larger accounts talking about, Hedera-based use cases. Like, for example, here is the Hbar Foundation quoting this tweet about Scott Melker, basically talking about Galaxy app on his channel. And I think that Galaxy app definitely is one of the more exciting use cases for the retail individual. I think that a lot of the use cases on Hedera are more so based around like corporate entities and like enterprises, which is again, that's basically, their overall viewpoint anyways and their goal. So it doesn't really kind of make sense for them not to do that. But I also do like to see retail use cases going live because again, retail use cases will drive more attention and adoption of the network in real time. A lot of these enterprise grade use cases are going to take time to actually be fully built out, and I'm actually going to be talking about that here in a second. But also, we did see an update from Hedera about staking. We do see, Hbar to the moon quoting it, saying Dr. Baird and the engineering team at Swirlds Labs are building amazing things, recursive, smart contracts using scheduled transactions. Smart contracts can, call scheduled transactions to make themselves up at, or wake themselves up, up at any moment in time, or at any point in the future, if you will, and execute tasks periodically. And we do see this in regards to this graphic, staking on the network. I'm very excited for, native staking, but we do see community staking is essential to improving the security, decentralization, and reliability of the Hedera network. And then we do see accounts will be able to stake directly to nodes or indirectly through other accounts with no lockup periods. Nodes are capped to a certain threshold of consensus weight to avoid centralization. And to me, I think that staking definitely opens a ton of opportunities, not only to individuals who are holding, but also to the network itself. So I'm very excited for this, and of course, yes, it will allow for a lot of the tokens that are out there to be locked up. And again, this is like the most secure staking mechanism that I've seen in the entirety of this market. So very excited for this. Cannot wait for it to go live. I know that they were saying sometime in July, so let's see what happens. Again, I hope that they don't launch it at like the wrong time, because a lot of the stuff from Hedera has been really kind of ill-timed. And right now, like, this is a rough time in the market. But I definitely do think that it will still bring in some demand for, staking. And also, we did see from Hbarbarian, he's quoting this video from the Hbar Bull, but he's saying Dropper NFT will be giving out $5 million in grants for game developers, esports teams, and players to launch NFT projects on Dropper's NFT Launchpad built on Hedera. I've been talking to you guys about NFT projects almost on a daily basis over on my NFT channel around Hedera. If you guys are not subscribed to that channel, I don't know what you guys are doing. First link in the description below. I'm telling you guys, you will not regret it. I talk a ton about NFT projects in regards to Hedera, Ethereum, etc. And I also talk about why you should be paying attention to NFTs. So definitely go check that out. But this is great in regards to, like I said, retail demand. These are those retail demand use cases. So I'm very excited for this. And I do think that $5 million in grants is definitely enough to really kind of build out this ecosystem. So this is one that I'm definitely watching for, especially from, a lot of these like there's so much happening around Hedera in regards to like the metaverse and the gaming scene. Like, they are literally taking over the retail area in regards to like Web3 and gaming. Now, yesterday, we did see this tweet from Zepsi, and I completely agreed with it. Why is Hedera an enterprise-grade DLT, low fixed fees, ABFT, secure, 10,000 plus transactions per second, carbon negative. We do see governing council with Fortune 500s and leading universities built on by, ServiceNow, DLA Piper, EDF Energy, Avery Dennison, etc., right? And this is great, right? Especially if you, are, looking up information about Hedera. But this, okay, in regards to all this text here, yes, a lot of it is already here, but in regards to like university, or not universities, in regards to use cases, going live, we have not seen a lot of them go live. And this is an issue. And I actually brought it up yesterday. I said, hey, Zepsi, I'm right there with you, but these use cases need to go live already. Confidence is being lost around, Hedera simply because we have all these bullish use case announcements, but no transactional data to back them up, basically. And this was not me spreading FUD or, hating on Hedera. It's just the idea that, like, we have been, watching Hedera for almost, over a year and a half now, almost 2 years. And it's, a shame to see a lot of these projects that have been building on Hedera for over, 2 years, or even since the inception, going back to, 2019, and use cases are still not live from them. It just kind of makes me a little bit concerned because, again, these are enterprise-grade use cases. I know that these are going to take time, but we do need a lot more transactional demand on the network. And, of course, a few people were, responding to me. We did see Hello Future Buzz, for an example, saying, building takes time. My experience this year going out into the wild of IRL is the opposite of lost confidence in it is very bullish, And I said, definitely, I agree. However, to the typical individual, that is seeing bullish announcement after announcement with no real transactional demand, it's a bit concerning. I have extreme confidence in Hbar and Hedera long term, but, having nearly all the transactions accounting for one use case is a bit of a letdown. We need more live use cases, and there have been, projects building on Hedera for 2 years with no update at all. And a lot of people are saying, like, all we hear is soon all the time. And then we did see, like, Shane, Hidgen, responding to me saying, are there specific projects you have in mind? I said, not specific projects, but a good example would possibly be like FIS Global. What exactly are they building on Hedera? There are a lot of partnerships around, 2019, 2020 that simply have done nothing, or maybe NDAs have held them back from leaking any details. And then, of course, we did see Danny I talking about, FIS, and I said, yes, I appreciate this insight. I've already discussed the use case, quite a bit on my channel from FIS Global, for an example. The issue that I have, and I understand things take time to build, is that there, is a ton of talk about how big these use cases will be, but we never seen any substance from them. I get it, Hedera is still new, they are building, but man, saying you are like one of the most utilized DLTs out there with 2 billion plus transactions that account for $200,000 in transactional value, tell you it is not impressive, especially when it comes, from like two actual projects. And we did see him talking about like how other projects have only two apps making up the bulk of transactions. And I said, I mean, sure, you can, compare these two, but my point here is that shouldn't we be doing better? Also, it's a big difference for something like Solana that has a higher fee base per transaction, meaning the token can actually move off of fees. Our 2 billion transactions account for $200,000. And, yes, I do think that, in terms of like the transactional fees and stuff like that, it's great. But at the end of the day, we still need a lot of these use cases to go live. And I know that it's going to happen. I know that we're going to have to be patient. I just want to see a little bit more, transparency and insights on these use cases instead of just utilizing their name for, marketing, if you will. And again, this is not me saying, hey, Hbar is terrible, I'm not investing into it. No, I actually do have my buy order set up. I'm holding long term because I still believe in the team and the vision. It's just, in the short term, we definitely need a little bit more use case insight. Like, for example, like Avery Dennison's Atma.io is great, but when is this going to go live? Like, we don't know. We don't have any specific details on that. Like, for example, the Coupon Bureau, they're supposed to launch sometime this summer. I know that they were saying like around like July or so, but we don't know exactly when this is going to go live. And we did see like additional announcements coming in like Q1 of 2023. They were saying, it's supposed to be connected by like the end of 2022 to 8,000 plus mid-tier and independent grocers, and also 3 to 4 national retailers, which is great. And I love this. And we actually do see many major brands have announced a July 2022 launch of the 8112 coupon content. But to me, like, is Hedera going to be utilized like right out of the gate? We don't know any details on this. We don't know exactly when Hedera is going to be utilized. There is, the Hedera Explorer, for example, that does break down like transaction history in the last 24 hours. Like, for example, like transactions per hour and per second here were like, for example, this is the issue, right? Transactions per second, 1.56. So like 1.5 transactions. Transactions per hour, 5,632. Most of these transactions, like even at the height, we'll go to like this candle. The transactions per second here were like 7, almost 8. That is not good. That's actually terrible, especially when you look at like Hedera in regards to like the 10,000 plus transactions per second that they are capable of doing. And again, it's not me saying, hey, they're terrible. Like, what is going on here? No, it's just the fact that, like, I get it. Like, the actual mainnet is not being utilized as much as other networks. But that's why I don't understand why they keep pushing, like, the whole, like, most utilized DLT. I think that that's great for marketing, but until you actually have these enterprises going live and utilizing the network itself, I really wouldn't be pushing that too much. And of course, we do see like transactional volume. Like this doesn't really, like this is not what like most people actually assume it to be. This is just like the volume itself, not the actual transaction history. And we do see like transaction service types in the last 24 hours. We do see like other, and then we do see like consensus submit message, and then we do see like crypto transfer. With the crypto transfer being 53% of transactions and 45% coming from consensus submit message. Now, we can see where a lot of these, transactions are actually coming from. I don't know how accurate this actually is because a lot of these, in regards to like running a node, I don't know what these transactions are actually being utilized for because I don't really have, like, we don't have an insight on this. But we do see like in the last 24 hours, 38.7K were coming from IBM, 35.6K were coming from DLA Piper, 28.4K were coming from LG. But again, does this mean that like there's use cases live? Not exactly. It just means that they are utilizing the network. And I think that that's what their end goal was, to have a lot of these, enterprises utilizing the network for a large amount of things in regards to like, just transactions, crypto transfers, stuff like that. But we want solid use cases. I mean, like when we come over to the governing council, these are not names that are small. Like we look at these are banking giants. FIS, I've talked to you guys about FIS multiple times. The reason why I'm excited about FIS, and they have been a member since 2019. They are coming up on 3 years now. We have no real insights on it. Again, I've speculated and talked about possible use cases from FIS. But we need more insights, and they are a very large company. They are a massive, movement of money company as well. But like, Like for example, like Boeing, right? We could speculate all day long, but these are companies that have been on the GC for over 3 years almost now, and we want to see a little bit more insights. I mean, Standard Bank and even Shinhan Bank, that have been a member for over a year and a half now, have already gave us some insights on what they want to utilize the network for, which is great. But I want to see more, transparency from a lot of these early names, or like even for example, like Ubisoft. Yes, we could speculate a lot around what Ubisoft is going to be utilizing the network for, but until we actually see like a full-on update from them as well, I'm not going to be too excited, because again, we need a little bit more transparency. And I've actually loved the fact that Hedera has been like one of the most transparent, companies out there, even in regards to like token unlocks, token selling and things like that. I love that, but I want to see more transparency around something like the use case value behind some of these companies. Because trust me, when I look at this GC member list, does it make me bullish? 100%. But what would make me more bullish is if I came over here, I hovered over FIS, global for an example, and this kind of slid out, had FIS's logo over here in a bigger view, and it had like this center point, this like whole GC list in the center, and it told me like all the information around FIS like we do see here. But then on the right side, it gave us a breakdown on the detail around the use case. And I'm not like trying to give them like constructive criticism on their website. I'm just saying like having something to give us more insight on these use cases would be great, instead of us having to, go out and speculate so much around these use cases, which again, speculation only goes so far with little to no information backing it. So again, just what I would love to see is a little bit more transparency. And again, this is not me like, coming for their neck or anything like that. I was just like, I kind of get fed up with, seeing a ton of, like, we see like these use cases getting pushed, and we do see like a lot of individuals just saying, it's coming soon, it's coming soon, it's coming soon, it's coming soon. And I look out for like everybody else that's a part of Hbar, right? Because I know how frustrating it could be to be an investor, and you constantly are trying to like, see like, all right, well, when's the transactions going to ramp up? We've been hearing step function for how long? We've been hearing, coupon bureau for how long? That's what I'm waiting for. And I think that we need a little bit more insights on this. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. It's been Nick. Peace out, guys.